So, I wasn't really planning on making too much more Warrior Cats videos, and I still don't for the time being, but I found something the other day that is just too amazing for me not to talk about. Okay, so I used to write a bit of Warrior Cats fanfiction myself, and most times it'd be like everybody else. Like, I'd write stories about my OCs and whatnot, normal stuff. But I found a fic that contains canon characters, and, well, I'm just gonna say it straight. It was a ship fic between Ashfur and Hawkfrost. So, a disclaimer, this was written a couple years ago. Probably not entirely up to date with my current writing style, but I hope you enjoy this nonetheless, because I'm going to be reading it, and I'm going to try not to crack myself up. Alright, so let's do this. Ashfur emerged from the trees, padding out onto the lake shore. It had been several moons since all 4 clans had made the great journey to their new home, and the speckled Tom was beginning to get used to his new surroundings. Above him, the orange-gold dusk sky was bleeding into night. Ashfur scanned the lake, his eyes reaching the log bridge that allowed the clans to travel to the gathering island. Excitement filled him from head to tail. No cat knew where he was going. As a warrior, he could leave camp whenever he wanted. As far as his clanmates were concerned, Ashfur was going on a solo hunt. Gripping the bark with his claws, Ashfur hauled himself onto the tree bridge. He kept his claws unsheathed as he crossed it, careful not to fall into the lake and attract unwanted attention. Once the Grey Tom had arrived on the island shore, he opened his mouth to taste the air. The faint scent of a tomcat filled his taste buds. Perfect. Ashfur padded into the wooded area of the island, and the great oak came into view. The speckled Grey Tom lifted his head and stared at it in awe. Here, the clan leaders would each sit on a branch and share the latest news from their respective clans. As Ashfur scanned the tree, the rustle of the leaves made him prick his ears. Suddenly, a large weight bowled him off his paws. Looking up, Ashfur's dark blue eyes met the icy blue ones of a dark tabby. Ashfur scowled. "You could have given me a warning or something." Hawkfrost's whiskers twitched in amusement. "But that would have been no fun at all," he replied smoothly. Ashfur shoved the dark brown tabby off him. "Whatever," he said snarkily. Hawkfrost flicked his tail side to side. "Do you want to climb the great oak with me?" he asked. "I hear ThunderClan cats are excellent tree climbers." Ashfur scrunched up his gray muzzle in disgust. "We did that last time, though. Come up with something original, you mangy river rat," he grunted. After a brief silence, Hawkfrost narrowed his blue eyes and he smirked. "I have a better idea," he meowed, padding back towards the shore. "But you're not gonna like it." Ashfur's eyes widened. "Not the river," he said, following his companion. As they broke out of the trees, Hawkfrost gave Ashfur a hefty shove. Stumbling, the speckled Grey Tom let out a shocked meow as he fell into the lake. Thrashing his limbs, he was barely able to reach the surface. "Hey!" Ashfur snapped. On the shore, Hawkfrost laughed. Ashfur narrowed his eyes. "You think this is funny? Let's see how you like getting wet." The speckled Grey Tom waded towards the shore. With a grunt, Ashfur hauled his dark tabby friend into the lake. Hawkfrost landed with a large splash. This time, however, Hawkfrost recovered from the shock quicker, emerging to the surface. "Bad move, Ashfur," he teased, whiskers twitching. "Besides, I saw it coming." Ashfur crawled out of the water, his pelt soaked and spiked. "It was a mere distraction," he replied, shaking out his fur. The action sent water droplets flying, a few splashing onto Hawkfrost's muzzle. The dark Tom purred. "For what?" he asked, amusement in his tone. Ashfur narrowed his eyes, patting up the Hawkfrost. The Grey Tom gave his companion a long lick on the cheek. Hawkfrost widened his blue eyes in surprise as Ashfur nuzzled the spot. "For that," he replied lowly, letting out a purr of his own. Hawkfrost embraced the affection, lost in the scent and touch of his newfound ally. I just realized I drew the wrong image, but I don't want to switch it. It's better. Baka Baka Ashfur. Anyways, I hope you liked this read through. Have a good. I hope this finds you in your dreams tonight.